I give honor to God, to our pastor, and to each of you. It is an honor to be with you on this morning. This is a word from God on the topic from the Lord, and it's titled, Reviving a Dead Hope. Reviving a Dead Hope. Come with me into the book of 2 Kings, the 4th chapter. It's beginning at the 8th verse. We read a portion of that scripture because it is a long scripture. However, we will cover it in the message. Hope is defined as a desire accompanied by expectation. It is an anticipation of things to come. One might say it is oriented to something in the future that one expects but does not yet possess. And no matter our economic background or cultural persuasion, at some point in life, we had hope. And the saints today still have hope. Many others hope, but it is a misplaced hope. We are genetically distinct, and yet we each share at least one element in common, and that is hope. But what does it do to us when hope dies? What is the proper action when there is no positive future in sight? When you have suffered one defeat after another and hope fades? However, the question remains, can a dead hope live again? The text presents a situation of hope demise and a woman determined to live beyond hopeless conditions. The Shunammite woman was of the land of Shunem. She was married and financially well off, but she had a problem. And of significant social standing, but she had a problem. Further, she was a woman of faith, a supporter of Elijah's ministry, and she desired to be a blessing to his and support him. So she opened her home as a place of rest for the prophet and for his servant. She was childless and longed for a male child, but had failed. And her hopes of having a child was lost. Consequently, this woman would have no one to care for her in her old age and no one to continue the family legacy. And in Jewish culture, a stigma was attached to a childish woman. They were considered cursed by God, since children, in particular male children, guaranteed the family's future and care for the mother. But on this trip, as a gift of appreciation for her continuous kindness to the prophet, Elijah determined to return her favor. Yes. He promised her a son by the ensuing year at the same time. But she countered him. She said to Elijah, "No, my Lord, O man of God, do not deceive your servant." Church, I want to remind you that her reply does not stipulate that she does not want a male child. Right. Every Israelite woman did. Rather, it indicates that she feels it is impossible at her age. Right. We are no different, but we too put limitations on God. Right. So she urges Elijah not to build up her hope only to disappoint her later. Nevertheless, I need to tell you, in due time, like Sarah, who gave birth at 90, and Elizabeth, who gave birth while she was getting on in age, the Shunammite woman also, that a year from the time Elijah spoke the prophecy, gave birth to a son in old age. Just as God has promised. In other words, the prophet is able to bring the blessings of new life, even when the possibility is dimmed by biological realities. This child felt the dominant hope that resided within her. Church, this miraculous deed testifies to the power of God over life and death. Yes. Your hopes in God, I want to tell you this morning, are not dead. Right. Do you recall the first time God gave you your deepest hope? Hope that was humanly impossible? Church, God specializes in things that we think are impossible. Yes, and right here, the question is, what does the record show of our representative to God? The Bible says that she received her hope because of God's representative. Elijah wanted to give her something for her own great hospitality. Yes. He promised her a child by the time the following year. and according to promise, she gave birth. But something happened while the child was young. The Bible says one morning, while in the field helping his father, the child complained about his head hurting. He complained so profusely that the father sent him to the mother to be cared for. Well, the Bible says that she held him a long-awaited hope. She held it on her lap, and hope died. The boy died. Jewish custom was to bury the dead on the same day of human expiration. Her hope is dead. Hope died in her arms, but she will not bury him. Hope is not animated, but she will not bury it. To bury the child, she would have to surrender her future. To unearth him, it would suggest that there is no hope. In this tragic situation, there were no moments of mourning. There is no record of tears being shed. No burial clothes was prepared. And the text does not record that the mother grieved her son's death. From this text we learn 3 lessons. The first one being, when hope dies, seek the hope provider. The one who understands your pain. The one who wants to give you the desires of your heart. While you are seeking God, church, don't allow anyone to interfere in your quest to get to God. Notice that this mother did not allow her husband to refocus her or delay her by involving her in conversation. You need to hurry to your prayer closet and have a little talk with God. That is what this woman did. In great pain, but she did it. She hurried to the man of God. And there are situations that take place in our lives that others cannot change. Only God can. Only God. Heartbroken at her son's death. At that moment she felt it would have been better if he had not been born. To have a son that dies is a loss of her hopes. In other words, he gave life to her hopes, but now the giver of that hope is dead. Oh, much like never having had a son at all. Can you imagine the pain of receiving hope only to have to sit and watch it die? Die in your arms. And I have to ask you this morning, church, where did your hope die? Where did it die? When hope dies, I want to tell you, don't prepare it for burial. Don't bury your expectation. Don't bury your possibility. Don't bury your faith. Take it to the Lord and leave it there. Hebrews 11:6 says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. Well, notice what she does with the dead child. She takes the child in her arms, carries him to the room prepared for Elijah. She laid the boy on the bed. She shut the door, and she walked out. She does not cry, not reveal to anyone that he is dead. She simply told her husband what she needed in order to see the man of God in a hurry. And therefore he raised questions regarding her visit to the man of God. But instead of giving an explanation, she said it would be all right. She got on her donkey and went to see Elijah. He sees her at a distance and sent Gehazi to inquire as the reason for her visit. She was beside herself. She refused to communicate with Gehazi. He is not the one who made the promise. And instead insisted on speaking to Elijah. She reminded him of her initial response when he told her she was going to have a child. She had told him, don't play with me. After all, he made this unsolicited promise. Her confidence lay in him as a representative of God. Then she journeyed with him to her home. We are not exempted, for we too will, at some time, experience the physical death of our hope and of our dreams that are equally devastating to us. Yes, she refused to leave the man of God, church. Real hope and the presence of God's representative will cause us to refuse to leave him. Yes, it will. As seen in this mother's response to Elijah. I will not leave thee. Consequently, she journeyed with him to her home. And unlike this woman who experienced the physical death of her hope, we experience the spiritual death of our hope, of our dreams that are equally devastating. It is during these times that we must practice the kind of faith that will enable us to say, God, I'm not leaving unless you go with me. I'm going to stay in prayer until you bless my situation. I'm going to stay in prayer until you revive my hope. I don't know how long it will take, but like the psalmist, God is the joy of my life. And I've come too far to turn around now. Well, secondly, the text tells us not only to seek God, but to leave our dead hope with God. Yeah, the Bible says when Elijah got to the house and that he did three things. He went upstairs and into the room where the child was laid on the bed. He closed the door behind him and he prayed to God while the mother waits outside the door. We have to learn how to give God our situations and leave them with him and wait confidently for the answer. Well, this one waited outside the door alone. Waiting silently and alone is often hard for one to do. However, the word says, but those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I remind you that we must leave dead hope in the hands of God and let his perfect will be done. If you feel like you're always waiting, then perhaps God is teaching you a lesson on how to wait patiently upon him. And I encourage you today to give your dead hope to God, for he will revive. Verses 32 through 37 provides us with a view of what took place in that upper room, behind those closed doors. The Bible says, when Elijah arrived, the dead child was laying on Elijah's bed. Elijah shut the door on the two of them and prayed to God. And when you are doing the Lord's work, you have to shut out distractions. And you have to shut out the naysayers. And you have to shut out gossipers. And you have to shut out social media. And you have to shut out friends. And sometimes you even have to shut out church folks. He laid upon the child. And somebody say he laid over the child. He put his mouth on the child's mouth, his eyes upon the child's eyes, and his hands on the child's hands, and stretched himself over the child. And the Bible says the flesh of the child grew warm. He got up and walked around. And the Bible says he continued to pour out his soul in fervent, persistent prayer. He returned to his previous position. He walked back and forth in the house. And again he went up and stretched himself. And then the child sneezed 7 times. I tell you 7 times it's completion. The job was done. The life had been revived. Oh, the child opened his eyes. Hope was alive. And 1 Chronicles 16, 11 through 21 tells us to trust God's time. It is so easy for us to place our happiness and the wrong things, to place our happiness on things that we can see, we can taste and touch and smell. All these are controlled by us. However, the things of this world do not provide a firm foundation for our lives. And we must trust in God, the God of hope. Today, church, if you have a hope that is dead, that you have buried deep within because you believe your circumstances wouldn't allow it to come forth, I've come to tell you, you ought to give it to God and let him revive it, which leads me to my third point, which is God revives our dead hope. Many times, God allows us to pass through strange trials and afflictions. But then later, as we hold firmly to him in faith, we experience his love, his embrace, and his compassion. I know that that hope can be restored. Because the Bible said Elijah called Gehazi and instructed him to call the Shunammite woman. He called as instructed. And when she came to him, she saw her son alive. Fell at Elijah's feet out of respect and gratitude. The text said it this way. She bowed to the ground before the Lord in worship. Elijah told her to pick up her son. And in obedience, she picked up her son and left full of joy. Oh, yes, she did, for what God had done. Church, can you imagine the joy that flooded her soul? Her dead hope had been revived. And today, we don't have to live with dead hope. Jesus is willing to revive it. He is waiting for us to bring it to him at the altar and to leave it with him, to trust that he can and will revive it. God wants us to anticipate hope. He wants us to hope in possibilities. In other words, he wants us to be filled with hope through the power of the Holy Spirit. Romans 15 and 13 tells us that now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that ye may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. I cannot say how long it would take for your hope to be revived. But I can tell you that the woman who followed Jesus waited from Friday to early Sunday to receive a word of assurance that hope had been revived. Can I get a witness this morning? Over 2,000 years ago, God sent Jesus, who is our hope. However, on Friday evening on a hill called Calvary, hope is nailed to an arm by Jesus. It looked like death had taken our hope and left us hopeless. But the Bible says, early Sunday morning, Jesus stood up again. Church is alive forevermore. He got up, and because he stood up again, now that hope has been revived. Church, Jesus' resurrection is about new beginnings for the downtrodden, new hope for the sick, new life for the believer, new sight for the blind, new hearing for the deaf, a new walk for the lame, new family relations for broken homes, new jobs for the jobless, and new faith for the faithless, new hope for the hopeless. Hope is alive again. It's alive again. And therein lies the answer to the question. Can a dead hope be revived? It can be revived. As Jesus got up, hope can be revived. Hope is revived. God bless you. Anyone here with us on this morning? Are you giving up on your hope, your dreams, your aspirations? And you want to come and ask God to restore your hope, restore your faith, that you may be able to look beyond the present situation and see the promise of God. Won't you come now? If there be one who wants to join in with the faith family, so that you have an answer for your questions and a hope to live with, you may come now. If there be one, will there be one? I offer you opportunity to reach out for salvation. An opportunity for salvation. Amen.
Give me praise God for this word this morning. Reviving the way we sing it as we continue to transition. The word says, if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, who's the righteous. And this time, we'll ask our deacon